Hi, I'm Liz from the Potter. Let's make a pinch pot mug together. So what we'll need to get started is a 400-gram ball of clay. I'm using Earthenware Paperclay in the color white from Keane's, and a small 500-gram clay to make the handle. You'll need a needle tool, possibly a small paintbrush, a wooden kidney tool to smooth out your mug, a rolling pin, and a pair of guides for your handle. We'll also need some slip, which is just clay and water mixed together, which will form a glue to bind your handle to your mug. So to get started, we'll begin with our 400-gram ball of clay. So just make it into a round ball, smoothing out any large cracks you see just with your finger. And with our thumb of our dominant hand, we're going to press into the center of the ball of clay. And we're going to go pretty deep, but not so deep that you cut through the bottom of your clay. And with the outside 4 fingers, you're going to be pressing in towards your thumb, and you're going to be pulling up with your thumb. And we're going to be going around in a circle until we form the body of our mug. And once you're happy that you've smoothed out all the lumps and bumps and cracks, we can begin to trim the lip of your cup. If you want to leave it kind of wonky and misshaped, you can just leave it, it's up to you, but I'm going to trim mine so it's a bit of a flatter top. So I'm just using my needling tool, and I'm going to sketch a line around the rim and then cut it. I'm just going to add that excess clay to my 50-gram ball of clay to make the handle later. And now I'm just going to clean up that rim I just cut. And now that you're happy with the body of your mug, let's put our maker's mark on the bottom. So just a stamp, or you can write your maker's mark with your needling tool. And now we'll move on to making the handle. So I'm just going to roll the ball of clay that we already had and that excess clay from when I trimmed my rim. And you can get as creative as you want with your handles. I'm just going to roll mine into a slab and then cut a handle about 1/4 inch thick and smooth out the edges and then attach it. But you can also do a coil, or you can curve it into cool shapes, however you want to make your handle. So I'm just going to roll it out. smoothing it out. The handle length is also just a personal preference. You kind of just cut it a bit longer than you think you need and have a play to see where it sits on the mug. So I'm going to use my guide as my measuring tool to cut the width of my handle. I'm just going to smooth the sides out. Trim my ends to make it a bit cleaner. I also find if I use the rolling pin as a rest for my handle, it helps me get that C curve I want when I place it onto the mug. So now this handle is going to be a bit longer than I want. So I'm just having a look to see where I want it on my mug. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off the end. And once I'm happy with the placement of my mug, I'm just going to do a little line underneath the bottom of my handle just so I know where to score and reattach the handle. So you see I've just done 2 little lines to show me where I'm going to attach a handle. Now I'm just going to score it with my needling tool, which is just making little lines or hashtags to make a rough spot on the clay for the handle to attach to. Now I'm going to take my slip and put it onto where I've just scored. This will act as a glue to bind the handle to the mug. I'm going to do the same on the ends of my handle. Now I'm going to attach the handle to the mug. So I'm going, with my non-dominant hand, I'm going to press firmly on the inside as I push into the clay with the handle. I'm going to do the same on the bottom. And once you're happy with the shape of your handle, you can either use your finger, or I like to use my paintbrush and just dip it in a bit of water and smooth out that attachment. So blending in the slip all around the outside so you don't see any lines. Now once you're happy with your handle, you're all done. Just when I'm drying, I do like to create a chalk with just some of the excess clay. Roll it into a ball and just place it underneath the handle. This will just give the handle support so it will keep its shape as it's drying. And then once it's dry, you can just remove it and it will hold its place. This mug will hold about 200 to 250 milliliters of water, so I consider this a large cup of coffee. And yeah, I hope you enjoy drinking out of your pinch pot mug when it's dried from the kiln. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you at my next tutorial.